Nepal's map fixing has triggered a series of comedy of errors for the Himalayan country. It put at risk the government of Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli. It exposed China's influence in Kathmandu. It triggered a power tussle between Oli and former Prime Minister Prachanda or Pushp Kamal Dahal. 4 months since the new map, we have another example of the widening divide between the two camps. This time it involves a certain textbook and a fight between Nepal's Education Ministry, the Land Management Ministry and the Ministry of Survey and the Ministry of External Affairs. There are 4 of them. Here's what's happening. The Ministry of Education released a textbook on the 15th of September. The book has 110 pages. It is supposed to be reference material on Nepal's territory and borders. It is meant for school students. Now, this book claims that Nepal's total land area is 1,47,641 square kilometers. It also says that the Indian areas of Kala Pani belong to Nepal. The book also has a very interesting preface. It's 6 pages long, and that's not the interesting bit. Guess who's written it? Nepal's Education Minister, Giriraj Mani Pokharel. The minister writes that he has campaigned for 24 years to quote-unquote chase the Indian army from the Nepalese territories of Kala Pani, Lipu Lake and Limpiadura. Just to put out the facts, Kala Pani, Lipu Lake and Limpiadura are Indian territories that Nepal claims as its own, or rather is being forced to claim as its own by its friend in Beijing. Anyway, this controversial book has irked the Nepali cabinet. So the cabinet has asked the Education Ministry to halt the distribution of the book and stop its printing. Why? Because the Ministry of Land Management says the Education Ministry does not have the quote-unquote expertise on the subject. The Kathmandu Post quotes a spokesperson as saying, the Education Ministry stepped on the jurisdiction of the Land Management and Foreign Affairs Ministry. And that's not all. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs apparently had no clue about this book. So is this a case of a communication gap, or is there more to it? There certainly is. There's politics. Our sources tell us that this is the Prachanda camp at work. They're trying to win brownie points on nationalism. The education of Minister of Nepal is Prachanda's man. And he wants this book out. The Oli camp, on the other hand, seems to be trying to course correct or just stop Team Prachanda from scoring a point. The Land Management Ministry, which is led by the Oli camp, is relying on 5 points to justify the book ban. First, it says the book has a number of factual errors. We agree. Second, it says that it's not the job of the Education Ministry to decide on issues like area and border. Third, the preface is outrageous and inappropriate. Again, we agree. Fourth, the Land Management Ministry says certain content should not have been published at all. And fifth, it objects to the timing of the publication. And speaking of timing, it was only 2 days ago that India handed over 2 modern trains to Nepal that will run between Jayanagar in Bihar and Kurtha in Nepal, and are also expected to bridge the widening gap between the two neighbors. How do you think China is reacting to all of this?